Hello everyone and welcome to another GTA discussion video, and for this video I want to talk about the next season of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship. So for those of you who don't know, we've already had the first season of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship on GTA. This happened last year, and if you do want to go back and have a look at all of the highlights from those races, they will be linked in the description. There's a full playlist. It was a lot of fun, and basically it was so successful that we're going to be doing it again on PS4. So the first round of the second season of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship starts this Sunday, and it's going to be a 10-round championship. So for those of you who don't know what the Multi-Class Endurance Championship is, or what multi-class racing is in general, basically multi-class racing is the idea that in the same race you've got different cars. So Le Mans is the perfect example of this. The race every year at Le Mans and the World Endurance Championship, you've got 4 different classes of cars. You've obviously got the really quick cars, you've got the GT cars, and it's all about how well you manage traffic. And I really do like multi-class racing. It's very good, and I like endurance racing as well. Now this is me trying to bring that sort of love of endurance multi-class racing to GTA. So what we have for this season of the multi-class endurance race is that we are going to have a 10-round championship. So every week, every Sunday at 6 PM UK time, I'll be streaming one round of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship, and it will last for 10 weeks with a 1-week break in between. So in each round we'll be having one race that lasts 1 hour and a half. 1.5 hours is just one single race. Now within that race we'll be having 27 different people racing all at the same time, and we chose 27 because frankly getting 30 people in a lobby is just so difficult. We don't even want to try and risk it. So 27 people in a lobby, but they're split up into 3 sets of 9. So what that means is we've got GT1, GT2 and GT3, and everybody who's in GT1 only races against people in GT1. Everybody who's in GT2 only races against people in GT2, and everybody who's in GT3 only races against people in GT3. Now, how that breaks down is that, for example, on the first race on Blaine County 24 Hours, it's in muscle cars. So what happens is that all of the GT1 guys are in Dominators, all of the GT2 guys are in Vajeros, and all of the GT3 guys are in Picadors. So obviously, you know, all of the GT2 guys are in a much slower cars than the guys in GT1, and the GT3 guys are in much slower cars than everybody else. Generally, GT1 is the fastest class, GT3 is the slowest, and then GT2 is kind of in the middle of the two. So although there are 3 separate races going on, all on the same track, what you find is that in an endurance format, people will come round and lap other people. So the GT1 guys will no doubt go all the way around the track to lap the GT2 and the GT3 guys at some point. And it's all about how you manage that traffic. If you're a GT3 car, you've got to make sure that you don't lose too much time when you are getting overtaken by faster traffic. If you're a GT1 car, you've got to make sure you don't lose too much time when you actually overtake traffic as well. So that's just an added extra to it, and because it's an endurance race, that's why we have pit lanes on the tracks. The pit lanes are there because we want, you know, you have to look after your car. If you don't, you get a bit of a penalty by going through the pit lane to fix it up. It's not just another 10-minute, 5-minute race like you normally see on GTA. It's a full 1.5 hour race. It takes a long time, you've got a lot to think about, and it really is a test of endurance. So the first round is going to be on Blaine County 24 Hours, my latest track, and it's going to be this Sunday. Now the first round of the previous championship set a record for me. It really did set a record for the most amount of viewers I've ever had at one time on Twitch, which was 322 people. Now at the time I couldn't believe we had that many people all watching this first round of the championship, but I would really love to break that. So if you are at all interested or at all going to be available on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 6 PM GMT, I'd love to see you there. The race actually does start at 6:30, 6:30 PM GMT, so UK time, and I'll put all the different time zone conversions and things like that in the description. But I would love to have you there to watch it on Twitch. Obviously my Twitch channel will be linked in the description as well. I'm going to put up a video at the time to let people know that we're streaming. I'll introduce all of the teams. Basically all of the teams have different sponsors. So for example, my own team is Ron Racing, sponsored by the Ron Fuel in GTA, which also has that sort of famous Gulf livery from Real World Motorsports. But there's also sort of the Maze Bank team, E-Cola, Wolves International Realty, Pegassi, Grotti. You know, each individual team has made up their own sponsors from the real GTA world. And in addition to having a individual championship for GT1, GT2 and GT3, there's also a teams championship as well. So it all depends on how each driver does in relation to their own class as to their points for the team as well. Now, there is a huge spreadsheet that basically explains everything about the championship. I'm going to link it in the first line of the description so it's totally obvious, and I'll repeatedly link this spreadsheet throughout the championship as well, because it really does have all of the information on. You know, it explains everything that we're going to be doing. It has the race calendar on there, but I'll also put that up on the video so you can see, and you can see the different class formations as well. For example, like I said, muscle cars is the Dominator, the Vigero and the Picador. The last round on the 19th of April is the North Loop with the Elegy, the Sultan and the Penumbra. You know, that's how it's made up, and we do have different gaps between sort of GT1, GT2 and GT3 as we go, so it will be interesting. It's not always going to be huge gaps between them. But yeah, I'm going to link that spreadsheet down below because that really does contain all of the information. Now, we're also going to be doing sort of formation laps at the start of the race, just so that all of the classes are in their right order. So it is going to be like a proper racing championship. You know, this is serious business. And it's kind of you don't really see this on GTA. It's kind of more reserved for real life sort of simulators, you know, the simulator games like iRacing and things like that. And I'm sure this sort of thing will happen a lot when Project Cars comes out. But with the variety that you can have with GTA, the different tracks that you can have, the different classes that you can have, the different types of cars that you can have, it makes sense to have this kind of multi-class championship, especially considering the class system itself is so varied, and you can have cars that are sort of 10 seconds a lap off the pace that go in the GT3 class compared to the GT1 cars. So, as I said, check the spreadsheet down below. I'll link it in the description. The first line of the description will be a link to the spreadsheet. It will explain everything about the championship. This is a crew championship. It's all been organised within my crew, so you can't actually participate in it at this present moment. You know, it's all been organised in my crew. We've already got all of the drivers, and the teams are all set up as well. But that spreadsheet will show you all of the drivers that are involved. It will give you links to all of the photos for the teams. It will show you the individual standings every round and the team standings as well. And we've also got the Xbox One side doing it as well, just with GT1 and GT2, just because they've got a few smaller numbers. So as I said, check that spreadsheet. It will give you all of the information that you need, and I'm really excited for this championship. I can't wait for it to start. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And basically this race that you've been watching on the screen is quite similar to what it's going to be like. You know, you've got Dominators flying past me in my Vigero because the Dominator is just so much quicker than it. But you've also got guys who I'm beating in my Vigero who are in Dominators. So it's striking that balance. You're going to have some guys who are really quick and are going to lap everybody else because of the car that they're in. But you might also come across a situation where you're in a slower car, but you're still able to keep pace with a slower driver in a quicker car. So it's such an interesting way to go about racing, and there's really a lot to think about with it. And I really do hope that you take the time to have a look at that spreadsheet, learn about it. Have a look at the previous highlights from last season as well, where we just ran GT1 and GT2. It was just so much fun to do it last season, and I'm really looking forward to doing it again. Have a look at that spreadsheet, and I really do hope to see you there this Sunday, 6 PM UK time, on Twitch. and I would really love to break that 322 people record, and I'll put up a video at the time as well just to remind you. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Let me know down in the description if you down in the comments, sorry, if you're looking forward to this, if you think it's a good idea as well. I really do appreciate your support as always. I hope to see you there on Sunday, and I'll see you next time.